everyone, Chris and I want to go over something very important with you all. Personal protection.
We're going to talk about the self-defense measures that we put in place to keep our family safe while traveling. All right, everyone, so just to put this out there, we are not attorneys. This is not legal advice. We are going to give you our choices, what we choose to do, and how we choose to travel. Do your own homework, do your research, so you can travel safely. I want to talk a little bit about my background and why I'm giving this particular topic. I'm an Air Force veteran, and I was a California police officer for many years. And yes, I left on good terms. Let me tell you something about the police. They are hardworking, honest people. They're doing everything in their power to keep America safe. The bottom line is, when seconds count, they'll be there in minutes. Not because they don't want to, but because the reality is they can't be everywhere at once. With that, you have the responsibility as an individual to make sure that your family is safe when you travel. The truth of the matter is evil exists. People have bad intentions. Not everybody is kind and awesome like the RV community. Some people really do want to harm you. So avoid those circumstances at all costs by just not being a victim. One of the biggest things that makes you a victim these days, and we're all, including me, guilty of this, we bury our head in our phones constantly. If you don't have situational awareness and know what's going on around you, you can't perceive a threat. It's built into our DNA. It's called fight or flight. It's an actual response that's part of who we are. But if we don't see it coming, we can't do anything to protect ourselves or our families. So please, 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 situational awareness. Keep your head out of your phone, keep your head on a swivel, and avoid circumstances that your gut instinct tells you something's wrong. So if you come into an alley and it's dark and it's one way and it looks like every stereotype movie, think twice about putting yourself or your trailer in those circumstances. And the reason I say dark alley had nothing to do with the alley. Darkness is the camouflage of the criminal. They love darkness. They're able to move about in an environment without being seen. In order to be a good criminal, you don't want to get caught, and darkness really helps that. So avoid locations and situations where you don't have light. Now, I'm not talking out in the middle of the woods boondocking, because that's the exact point. I'm talking about more of your urban city environments. Avoid dark places. If you have to stop at a Walmart, stop at a Cracker Barrel, go to a gas station. Utilize places that have people around and illumination. And most of those places have camera, which is also a protection for you. So pick your spots wisely, do your research so that you don't end up in a situation where it's a high crime area and you're stuck changing a tire. Now, of course, you've met my good friend Murphy. Inevitably, that's exactly where your tire will blow. But be as mindful and thoughtful about your research so you know where you're going to go well in advance to where you're going.
One of the best ways to protect yourself, especially at night, we have a dog. We walk her in the evening. We use this. This is an LED rechargeable collar. She likes wearing it. It makes her feel pretty, but it keeps her safe. She's a Rottweiler, so you can't really see her at night. We use a reflective harness with the light so people can see her, not run over. So it may not be wanting to do harm. They might not see her and they could hit her. Another item Chris and I use at night, headlamps. These are amazing. They help you see so much more at night. We got the Brunton ones. They work great. So we don't have to worry about someone running us over. People can see us. We're able to see the path in front of us.
Communication is one of the most important things that you can do for yourself when it comes to your safety. Knowing how to get a hold of emergency services in a life or death situation is critical. One of the first things that happens when you're in a high stress situation is you lose your dexterity, which is your ability to do fine motor skills. Having the ability to take your cell phone, which this is an iPhone, and get it to go straight to 911 is critical. Now what I did there is I pushed the bottom button on this side, the button on this side, and as you see, it goes right to emergency SOS. Know how to do that function on your phone, because unlocking your phone, dialing 911, hitting send, and putting it to your ear when something bad happens is going to be difficult. Know the quick way to get around that.
An item that I personally carry is pepper spray. When we're out walking Cali, it keeps the two-legged and the four-legged critters away that I don't want around me. and I'll have Chris go into that.
You need to do your research before you decide to carry pepper spray. It's not legal everywhere. If you're traveling in Canada, pepper spray is illegal, so you cannot take it across the border up there. The other thing, within the United States, there may be areas in the US where this isn't legal, and there's a lot of circumstances where you cannot legally deploy this. You need to understand what happens when you utilize this, whether it be on a dog or a person. If you use this on a person and they have a respiratory problem, it can kill them. This is considered a less lethal item in the world of law enforcement because it does have the potential to kill somebody if they have respiratory problems, because it does restrict their airways. So do your homework if you decide to carry pepper spray, but it is highly effective, and after being sprayed and spraying people with it, it works, and it also sucks. Now, next time I want to talk about, this is pepper spray on steroids. This is bear spray. Now, unlike pepper spray, this is legal in Canada. You can take this through. You have to declare it. Now, with that said, in the US, there may be locations and circumstances where you can't carry this either. So do your homework, know where you're traveling, because each state, county, municipality, city can have different rules and regulations regarding what you can use and what you can't. Now for us, more often than not, we're either carrying pepper spray or bear spray when we walk Cali. It's a good deterrent for the two-legged critters, humans, and it's a really good deterrent for four-legged critters. I personally have sprayed a black bear with this in Alaska. It works. It's not Cajun seasoning.
Now here's the item that every RVer should have. Their truck keys with an alarm and a panic button. This is great. It's going to draw attention to you. So if you're in a situation where someone's coming up on you, attacking you, if you can get to your keys, have them on you, hit that panic button. It's going to draw attention and hopefully make the bad person go away. Another item too is a key. Lock this in your hand right here, and that gives you another tool to use if you have to, if you have nothing else on you or around you.
This is another item that almost everybody has and can actually get you arrested. You got to be mindful when you carry knives. Some states are extremely restrictive, and this knife here would be illegal. This is an assisted opening. It uses a cam to rotate open. So it's not a switchblade in that it uses a spring, but you have to know what type of knife you have. Also, some states don't allow you to carry a knife with more than 3-inch long blade. Know those things. The reason I carry a knife is it's a great utility tool. I use this thing for everything, but let's be real. It is also a weapon, and it is a tool that you can utilize to protect yourself or your family in the right circumstances. So if you carry a knife or you have one, just be mindful that there are circumstances where this can get you in some trouble, but it's a tool that I think everybody should have.
A great tip, keep your keys next to your side of the bed. So if something happens, hit that panic alarm button. If you hear someone breaking your trailer, at least that's going to draw attention and hopefully scare the person away.
This little baby right here is my best friend. I take it everywhere I go. It's called a Kubotan, and it is a ballpoint pen on one side and an impact weapon on the other. Now, like everything else that we're talking about, you have to make sure they're legal. What this is a last ditch, oh poopy, I need something to defend myself or my family. You can put it in your hands and use it as a stabbing or jabbing device. There's other things you can do with that. Go online, you can do your research. Something I recommend that you have on you at all times. Little, lightweight, doesn't take up much space, and can really save your butt in a bad situation. Another item that we carry with us on our trailer, which costs us $15 a month, is a Garmin InReach. This is a satellite-based GPS, and it's a two-way text communicator. It links to my phone, or I can do text right on it. In areas that I don't have cell phone reception, if something bad happens, I'm able to hit the SOS button, and I have preset messages in here that I can send to emergency services. This is monitored just like an alarm system, and when I send it, it sends our longitude and latitude. Extremely good for my boondocking friends who like to go off the grid. There's also a lot of areas within the US where you have no cell phone reception. If something happens, you break your leg, you break down, this tool can be the resource you need to communicate and get help. Martha and I both have concealed weapons permits. We've had multiple permits in multiple states, and we've had a lot of handgun training. We choose to carry a firearm when we travel. That said, I cannot stress enough how important research is for you prior to going anywhere. You have to look not only at what state you're going to, what county you're going to be in, what city you're going to be in, because each location can have a different law, a different rule, a different regulation. Some states like Alaska are called constitutional carry, which means anybody can carry a firearm as long as they're legal to possess one. Other states, you can't carry one, period. California being an example. If you're going to transport through California, you have to have the ammunition and the firearm locked up separate of each other outside of your reach. That's complicated. That means that really you could have the firearm locked in the RV and the ammunition locked in the truck, but they have to be away from each other and not readily accessible. My point is to let you know that you have to do a lot of research, because how and where you can defend yourself changes based on location. Some states have castle doctrine. Some states have stand your ground. Other states have duty to retreat. Those are laws. If you're not familiar what those laws are and where they apply, you need to do your homework. That said, we all have obligation as responsible gun owners to make sure that our firearms do not get in the hands of criminals or children or people that shouldn't have them in general. Make sure you have a safe, some gun locks, and ways that you can secure your firearms and your trailer when you're traveling or when you're staying in it in locations that are not easily accessible, that are completely out of sight, and that only you and your traveling companions will know where they're at.
The purpose of this video is to bring awareness to you guys about personal protection, what you're comfortable with. Do your research and practice. Have a plan in place for all of your loved ones that travel with you.
Know the laws of where you're going and traveling. It's all readily available on the internet. Just make sure your resources are reliable.
On another note, let others know that you trust and love about your travel plans, where you're traveling to on your travel days, how long it should take you to get there. That way they know to call for help if you're not arrived by a certain time and they can't get a hold of you.
Absolutely a best practice for sure. If you like this type of content, let us know. Give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'd be happy to do way more in depth about the different types of security measures, some of the things we do to keep our trailer safe. Let us know if this is something you're interested in, because honestly, we do this for you.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.